Welcome back to RotoMoto. My name is Donnie, and this episode of Ins and Outs could be sponsored by you. Feel free to reach out via the email listed below if you'd like to work together. But for now, let's get straight into the Ironman National. The biggest splash this week, no doubt, is the entire star Yamaha team, and they are going to be more or less dominant in this video. Let's get the big one out of the way. After winning the Schoolboy 2 title at Loretta Lynn's ranch and earning enough points in the two program rounds that followed, it's finally time for the much anticipated debut of Brian Deegan's son. Hayden Deegan, Danger Boy Deegan, makes his professional debut this weekend in Crawfordsville, Indiana, wearing the number 438 and becomes the fourth different rider to make their American professional debut for the Star Racing team this season, joining Nick Romano, Matt LeBlanc, and Guillaume Ferris. Speaking of Matt LeBlanc, the Star Racing rookie returns to action this week after suffering a broken collarbone in the second moto at Southwick. The Louisiana native looks to pick up right where he left off, where he completed the first 11 motos with no DNFs and an average finish of 15th with 2 top 10s thrown in for good measure. Levi Kitchen also returns for the Star squad, making it a full 6-rider squad for the penultimate round of the series. The chef unfortunately broke his wrist in July during weekday practice right after landing on the podium with an 8-2 day for his second overall podium of the season. Kitchen has been top 10 in every single moto except the pair of races at High Point, and obviously expects to return to fight for podiums again in the 2 remaining rounds of 2022. And the final Star Racing Yamaha rider to mention is on the 450 side, with Dylan Ferrandis being forced to pull out of the second moto last weekend following the widely publicized contact from Justin Barcia. The defending 450 Pro Motocross champion will likely be a game time decision, and he was expected to spend some time on a bike Thursday afternoon to see how he feels, but at the time of this recording, still has not released any update from him or the team. Moving on from Star Racing, but staying with the Blue Crew, another high-profile amateur making their professional debut this weekend is Gavin Towers. The NSA Factory Yamaha Armature Team rider will be sporting number 532 this weekend after going 1-4-7 in 3 motos at Loretta Lynn Ranch for second overall in the 250 Pro Sport division. He has spent much of his career racing against the likes of the aforementioned Hayden Deegan, as well as Ryder Difrancesco, and no doubt he'll be looking for some raw results this weekend to show everyone that he is not to be overlooked. Speaking of Ryder D, it looks like he will also be returning this weekend for the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. Ryder has already been very effective this season, finishing inside the top 10 in 2 of his first 5 motos before being blasted in the chest by a large rock in the final moto at Unadilla, which forced him to pull off and also miss the Budds Creek National. Would expect Ryder D to really come out swinging here, as most of the fan base has seen Hayden Deegan and Ryder Diaz unofficial rivals, even though they've never raced each other, and they will finally clash in the same class among the top 38 250 riders in the country. One more guy that will sadly be missing this weekend is Antonio Crioli. There was speculation that the 222 would stick around and race Ironman as a final preparation before he returns to the States for the MXDN at Redbud, but unfortunately, he injured his hand in the first moto after going down and allegedly being run over by Justin Barcia. Nothing seriously injured, but it was enough to see the Italian-born rider forego what remaining races he may have been interested in to rest up and heal for the big one. And finally, more of a confirmation than an announcement here, but looks like Brandon Hartranft will unfortunately miss the rest of the season after sitting out the last 2 rounds, but it is now confirmed. The 41 was tied for 15th place in the 450 championship after the second moto at Washougal, but an ankle injury that requires surgery forfeited his last 4 rounds. Undeterred, the HEP Twisted Tea Suzuki team looks to Justin Rodbell to fill the void left by the Brick, New Jersey native, and will be seen in yellow for the first time in his professional career. Time to get you involved. Let me know in the comments, between Ryder D, Hayden Deegan, and Gavin Towers, which one do you think finishes highest up the 250 pecking order at Ironman on Saturday? And on your way out, don't forget the like button. And be sure to subscribe to RotoMoto for more breaking news and analysis like this. The #1 way to get more eyes on the channel is to tell the platform that this was a good one. And if you value the content I put out, please consider joining me over on Patreon. For just about $1 per week, you help me continue to make this content for you, and are also entered to win race shoes and autograph memorabilia. Up for grabs this month is an autographed Dean Wilson jersey courtesy of O'Neill. Thanks as always for watching RotoMoto. My name is Donnie. Keep it pinned to the weekend.